Welcome back. It's E3. It's day 3. I'm Justin Massengill. We've got a couple very special guests here with us now. We've got Jake Kazdal from 17-Bit and Mr. Shuhei Yoshida himself. We're here to talk about Galak-Z, which is a game I'm very, very interested in. Welcome, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, so Jake, give us a quick rundown of Galak-Z for anyone who hasn't seen this before.
So Galak-Z is a PS4 exclusive. It's coming out very soon. It's going to be coming out this summer. It's sort of a... My roots are in... I've been a game designer for a long, long time, about 20 years something. But I started my own company about 6 years ago. This is our second title, and this is really dedicated to the magic of kind of classic arcade gaming. Really tight 2D, perfect controls, kind of an old school classic Japanese animes vibe from sort of the early 80s, late 70s, the generation of stuff I grew up watching. And the game is really a modern reinterpretation of a classic arcade game. So what's modern about it? The AI is very cutting edge. We've teamed up with a company called Sentient in Seattle, a new AI company. So we've got a dedicated AI team working on very intelligent artificial intelligence. So these enemies, although they look like just kind of little bad guys from a shooting game, they've all got eyes and ears, they've got squad orders, they've got leaders they'll try to protect, they'll run off for backup, they'll try to flank you. They're very intelligent. And so you can't just rush off screen and lose them. Like, they'll continue to track you down, they'll send out tracking orders for you. It's a very sort of combat simulator game dressed up as this old school arcade game.
So there are two spaceships. So one is AI, or what's going on?
Yeah, so this is your good guy here. This is ATAC.
Yeah.
He's the pilot, Adam Takamoto. He's kind of the last pilot left after a really bad ambush by the enemy Imperials here who you're fighting. So you see these squads are out looking for you. And I really compare this game to something like, it's more like Far Cry in 2D than it is sort of a classic game. I mean, there's a very... The AI is very intelligent. It's all physics-driven, so everything in the world is physics.
There are elephants in the game.
There's not elephants, but there's giant bugs that look kind of like elephants, and they'll stomp on you. There's like tigers, and the bugs will eat each other. The bugs will eat the Imperials. There's a band of Void Raiders, or kind of a space pirate type of unit that is also at war with the Imperials. So you'll come across a full-blown battle sometimes, and they don't really care that you're even there.
Nice.
So because you're the last kind of pilot for the Alliance here, it's best to sort of use the environment to your advantage like that. It's best to get them distracted by somebody else. Here comes a couple of Imperial hammerheads. These are kind of the toughest guys here. Our studio director, Raj Joshi's at the wheel here. We're going to see how he does. So you see these missiles lighting him up, trying to flank. You can juke over their bullets. You've got sort of a jump, kind of an evade roll, which is really important. These guys pin you in like this. So these guys will protect each other. If their shields are down, they'll ask for backup. They'll ask for someone to come cover them. They'll run off and let their shields recharge.
Oh, wow.
It really is very modern combat, sort of shoved down the throat of these classic arcade games.
Yeah, cool. So I've played Galak-Z a couple times. I played it a while back. I played it here on the show floor at E3. And it's taken a couple tries, probably a grand total of maybe 30 minutes of getting in there and messing with it. But I think I finally started to wrap my head around these controls. It's almost Asteroids-esque, but not quite the same kind of thing. Once you get a feel for the controls, this game feels so good to play.
Yeah, it's definitely got a ramp up in the controls. Most people it takes 10 to 15 minutes at least to sort of kind of get their head around it. But once they do, you realize it's very deep. I mean, this has a very long learning curve. I mean, I play every day. I've been playing every day for 3 years now. I continue to get better every day. I'm always practicing my shots and like practicing my timing, and just the feel of maneuvering the craft is super pleasurable. And I think, to me, like a successful game feels good, anything you do.
That's the key. One of my favorite games is Luftrausers.
Yes.
That feels really good.
Absolutely,
and looking at this, this is my kind of game.
Yeah, I played a lot of Luftrausers. I have a huge respect for Rami and his team over there. And this is the same thing. Like, every motion you do should feel good, and you should be able to get better and better at it to become this sort of death ballet. Fighting these guys is almost exquisite in the way that you can kind of take them out. So that's what I really enjoy the most out of this.
Yeah, and it's all really tied together by this amazing, amazing art style, this cohesive kind of aesthetic that you've built for the game, this Saturday morning cartoon style thing, the old old anime that I used to watch growing up, and just really cool
Look at the character. That character seems straight from the old Japanese TV anime.
Yeah, I watched a bunch of that stuff growing up, and I obviously revisited a lot of it when we were doing visual reference development for the game. But I designed this character, and I wanted him to be, a perfect snapshot of that era. I mean, it was the same era as, like, I was a Star Wars generation. It was one of the first movies I saw in theaters. And, Battlestar Galactica and kind of all that classic space combat and adventure and drama. And I really wanted to capture that and bring that into this. The game is actually a roguelike, which is unusual for this sort of thing because it's actually very story-driven. There's 5 chapters, and each chapter sort of has its own sort of arc to the story. And so you've got to finish 5 missions in a row to move on to the next sort of season. Like we're presenting it like TV episodes almost. And so your skill sort of has to get up. You know, like season 1, most people can clear, you know, within a couple tries. And then season 2 is going to be, you know, quite a bit harder. You're going to have to really sort of master some of the basic skills to kind of move forward.
Okay.
I love that homing missiles.
Yeah, so the missiles, the explosions were actually the first thing. When I decided I wanted to do a spaceship shooter game, I remember the explosions from the old Macross cartoons and the old Robotech, stuff like that. I remember thinking, you know, those stylized, beautiful crescent explosions and stuff. I was like, we need to do something really stylized and beautiful for this game to look, you know, unique and stand out. And the more I started looking at that stuff, I realized how much I love that generation of stuff. And look at Raj here is actually trying to use the environment like I was speaking of. There's a lava pit down here. He's trying to lure this guy to come in here.
Oh, there you go.
He knows it's fire. The enemy knows that it's fire. He knows it's dangerous. But sometimes you can get him trapped in there and use these lava bubbles when you splash in there to catch up with him. And you see him kind of waiting out there, though. He knows. So these enemies are very intelligent. I mean, they have self-preservation is a very high level of instinct, and they don't want to get killed. But they want to take you out for sure. So, you know, even the kind of lower level combat is very deep. It's very organic. And it's not about memorization because these guys will come, every level is procedurally generated. So you're going to get a different level every time you play the game.
Oh, really?
Different positioning, different squad makeup. I mean, you can never master it because it's always going to be something slightly different. So it's more about just your combat technique, you know, about learning kind of how to deal with certain guys, how to utilize the environment, how to, you know, use the bugs against the Imperials. Like if he can get a couple bugs to chase after him, he could run over.
The game has bugs, lots of bugs. You have to fix it.
Not those bugs, Shu.
Okay.
The good kind of bugs, the big alien space beetles. Here's a big sentinel. This guy is trouble. So this is one of the scarier guys early in the game. He's always one of the scary guys throughout the game.
Wow.
He's big and scary and mean. He's got a big, powerful shield, and he likes to hit really hard. And he's smart, and he'll use backup. He'll call for backup.
Raj can outsmart him, though.
Well, let's see how he's doing. Raj is kind of smoking here. You can see him kind of taking some shots. There's a beetle. If he can wake him up, he'll go for that. See, the beetle's going to go after him now. So he's got a bit of a moment to kind of catch his breath, let his shields recharge while those two are fighting. By the time he gets up there, that sentinel will probably have taken out that bug, but at least his shields have recharged, and he can jump back into combat. Well, maybe they're both going at it still. So see, yeah, they're still going at it. He took him out, and now he's got a moment to go. So your shields will recharge. I mean, you can take a couple hits in this game, but when your shields are down, your health goes down, and health is hard to come by. So, I mean, it is a very true roguelike in that fashion. It's tough to, you know, once the shields are down and the health is going down, if you die, it's back to the beginning. There is a sort of a limited continue system that we've been working on lately, so if you get enough of the crash coins, the purple coins by dropping enemies, you can buy a limited amount of continues if you have saved up enough by the time you die.
Yeah, there are lots of little things that you can buy in between missions that kind of enhance your ship and give you more firepower.
You've got a whole suite of passive ability types. The weapon is modular, so as you play through the game, you'll unlock more and more weapon power-up types. And so you can kind of custom craft your ship every time you play through the game. And so that's, you know, one of the best things about a roguelike is kind of finding these unique combinations of things that really kind of dynamically change the play style, and you know your chances of survival, getting all the way through to the end of a season where you're going to find a big boss fight.
So this game looks like 2D, but is it actually 3D?
It's actually 3D.
Yeah, I was just going to say that too.
The characters are 2D, or the characters are 3D. A lot of the effects and stuff are 3D. These rocks are all hand painted, and there are 2D flats that are staggered in 3D space. So it looks really nice on a 3D TV.
Yeah, beautiful animation of the characters.
What's that?
Beautiful animation of the enemy characters.
Yeah, that was very important. And then the character sprite himself is all 2D stills on a 3D rig. So it's kind of a funny mix. People keep asking, you know, is it 2D or 3D? And we're like, well, it's kind of both. And is it top-down? Is it a side-scrolling shooter? I don't know. Doesn't really matter.
Well, it looks incredible. One really subtle effect that I'm really liking as I'm noticing this is the little cones, the cones that the enemies have there. They're lighting up the rocks around them. Like you have real-time lighting going on those environments.
Yeah, we did some fun stuff with just kind of hand painting normals in. So even though it's a 2D object, it reacts to light in a 3D way.
Oh, cool.
Which really adds to sort of the cinematic lighting, and we wanted the explosions to really light up these caves and the lasers and stuff like that.
That's why it's taking so long to finish the game.
Yes, well, it has to be perfect. It has to look beautiful. You know, we're very proud of this. We are almost done. It will be launching sometime this summer. So, you know, my Twitter feed has been full of people saying, "When's it done?" It's almost done.
We're almost there.
Almost there. We've
I
had great
was one of
feedback from
them.
you guys. Yes, thank you.
Shuhei, have you had a
Yes.
chance to check out the game on the show floor?
No. I have no time to walk around. So I am so excited to see in the calendar that Galak-Z is on the show. Can I join? And
Yeah. Yeah.
you are like, oh, come by.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
we should have you
excited.
playing.
I'm dying to play this.
Well,
game.
I will make sure you have the latest build, and I would love to hear your feedback and stuff. We're in the final tuning stages, so any more feedback is a good time for it now. So the game, really, it's a giant procedural space that's recreated every time you go out and into space. So you're never going to have the same adventure twice. It's sort of a big, dynamic jungle of bad guys in this living environment that's always evolving and changing. He's kind of fighting off these last two defenders here that are protecting the warp out spot. So he'll be able to warp back to his to the mothership, kind of stock up on supplies and stuff, and get assigned his next mission if he can take these guys out. But they are mean shots.
It looks like Raj has some advanced techniques going on where he's using the reverse thrusters to kind of shoot while he's escaping.
To really kind of master the high-level play here, you've got to learn to use the juke. And oh boy.
Oh.
We were so close. Raj,
So close. Anyways, that's the game.
That's Galak-Z. So you said it's coming out soon.
Coming out very soon. We should have it announced. We should be able to announce a release date within the next couple of weeks.
That's
it is coming
fantastic.
this summer, and we are super excited for all those PlayStation lovers out there to get their hands on this. It will be digital download only, and please play it.
Okay, cool. Well, Shuhei, Jake, thank you both so much for joining us.
PlayStation